What's up, everyone? Have you heard of the phrase, fake it till you make it? Well, listen to this. A new study published in Forbes magazine shows that being confident is a choice. Scientists say we can literally rewire our brain in ways that change our self-perception. Joining me to talk about this is confidence coach Chantelle Anderson. Hey, Chantelle.
Hey, how are you, Miyoshi?
I am doing great. I am excited to have you on. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm so excited to talk to you and about that background behind you, and just we're gonna have an awesome conversation about confidence. But you are exuding it right now. You look gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, this, to just speak to the background, this is a part of my confidence journey as well. And so I think we're going to learn so much from you being an expert in confidence and coaching and all those things. So this study, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they made this statement that confidence is a choice. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh my gosh, I'm glad they have a study and evidence to back it up, because it absolutely is. You know, I think we look at people a lot of times and we're like, oh my gosh, they're naturally confident. They were just born that way. Why can't I be that way? And while there is an element of like, wow, that person may have a command strength or, you know, certain things that they are naturally self-assurant, in general, confidence, we all have insecurities. We all have fears, and we all have dreams. And so we all have insecurities. Right. And so for us to be confident is absolutely a choice. And it's really a choice we have to make every single day. And then we can do things to make it easier to make that choice every day.
Okay, we're going to touch all of this because this was like epic already. So you talked about insecurities. What are some insecurities that you see in your clients?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all have the same insecurities in terms of the question, am I enough? I think that is a question that I hear over and over and over again. And I have asked myself that, am I enough? Am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I talented enough? And it's like, enough for what, number one? And number two, like, why are we asking this question? And so I think that is the most constant question that I hear coming up. And then a lot of fear, you know, of, can't conquer my fears, and am I afraid of this? You know, what do I do when I conquer fear? What do I do when I encounter fear? All of that. So I think those will probably the two most common things I hear, and I also deal with personally.
I think this is very relatable, and it's something that a lot of us have to deal with daily. And so I like that you put it out there, like, you have to remind yourself and be confident and choose to be confident every time you wake up. I love it. And I received this newsletter and I read it, and quote, you said, but more often than not, it's the choice to try, the choice to lean into the fear because you believe the hope that's pulling you towards it, and the choice to do the next right thing, even if you don't know what comes after that. So like,
that's Wait, I wrote that?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
it's so good.
They're like, yes, I needed to hear that. And then I'm like, wait, who wrote that?
That was so you. Funny. And you brought up fear. You brought up fear, and that's something that is a part of all of our lives, even if we don't want to admit it. So, like, how do you function in fear and choose to be confident? Like, how do you do that?
You know what's so funny, Miyoshi, is people look at someone like me who's a confidence coach and has, you know, you go to my Instagram, I have pictures and, you know, I'm doing all this other stuff. And then you're gorgeous, you're tall and you're beautiful and you're well-spoken. Like, people look at people like us and they assume that we are just confident and that we have, and then we live with us every day. And we're like, nah, bruh, that ain't the case. Right? And so you know, one of the ways I help people is just admitting that I too do have insecurities and that we all struggle with that, because people look at me as someone who would not struggle with that, right? So just, that's one way, is to just put yourself out there and conquer fear, because in admitting that, because when you admit it, then you open up the door for somebody else to be like, me too, girl, like, right? So I think that would be one of them. And then what it said in the quote that you just read about conquering fear, it's just, you have to take the steps despite the fear. You have to feel the fear, but fight it with faith, fight it with hope, fight it with, okay, I'm scared, but whatever is on the other side of this fear is gonna be awesome. Is gonna be amazing. Is going to be worth the effort that it takes to conquer this fear. Because the truth is, fear hangs out with anything worth doing. Like, if
that
you
is a word.
Listen, if you can do everything you're doing without feeling scared, you're not pushing yourself. You are settling, and you are not going to be great at anything.
No, that you dropped many gems just in that like minute of just speaking, and you spoke on faith, hope, confidence, and that you are a confidence coach. And so this is obviously your area of expertise, but can you tell us a little bit about your program, Confidently His, because it seems like it has a spiritual backing. I can see that.
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking. Confidently His is my baby. I would pull out all these baby pictures. No, I love Confidently His. And, you know, it's been kind of my journey as a woman, as a Christian, as a businesswoman, has been really evolving. You know, I started out as a confidence coach and just really focusing on helping these women be more confident. And what happened in my life, which is awesome, but what happened in my life was I started to grow in my faith. I found God, I became a Christian, and as I started to grow in my faith, I realized that so much of my confidence, the foundation of it was my identity in God. And it's because, listen, at the end of the day, like, when we get off this interview, I think you're amazing. I hope you think I'm amazing. I hope you like me. But if you don't, amen. You know what? Because the God of the universe thinks that I am amazing, right? And so it's really easy to be confident, or easier to be confident, when you have your identity already nailed to what God says about you instead of what people say about you. So as I went on that journey, I started to realize how much of my confidence was really founded in my identity in Christ. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm teaching these women about confidence, I'm only giving her half the story, because I'm not teaching her what to do with her identity. And if her identity is in the wrong place, her confidence will always be able to be broken by anything that comes. She can work on it all she wants, but at the end of the day, like, her confidence will have a breaking point. I would say that the ceiling of confidence is the floor of faith. So when your confidence can only take you so far, but your faith has to build on that. And then when you put the faith as the foundation as well, the more your faith grows, the more your confidence grows. And so it's super important. So went from teaching confidence to being like, okay, I gotta add this identity piece. And that's where Confidently His was born, because it speaks to both confidence, which is super important, but also that identity piece.
I think that is just like a tight knit bow on this whole conversation, with confidence in identity coming together as one and creating this person that is ready to go out and receive all the success, all the opportunity. That's what I'm getting from it. And I always think about, with what you know now, what would you tell your younger self when you were actually going through trying to decide?
Yes. Oh my gosh. A letter to my younger self. I would tell my younger self, like, Probably three things. I tell her she's enough. And I think that coming from me now, like if I 10 years ago looked at me now, I would believe it coming from me. And so I would tell her that she's enough and that everything she is, everything she hates about herself, everything that stands out, everything that makes her different is what makes her special. Because I know that a lot of my insecurities were founded in what makes me different. The fact that I'm 6'6", the fact that I'm brown skinned, the fact that I have natural hair, but you know, I can rock a weave or I can wear my hair natural, you know, like all of these things I was very insecure about, but that's what makes me stand out and that's what makes me memorable. And so I would just explain that to myself and help myself to understand. And then the last thing, and probably the most important thing I would tell myself, is to choose God first. Because I spent so much time trying to build my own confidence. And you can build your confidence to a certain level, like I was saying, but if you have the foundation of faith, then that just makes building your confidence that much easier and quicker and more impactful. So I would tell myself to choose God first.
Awesome. Chantelle, drop mic right now. I mean, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your business, your program, just everything with us. If people need help growing in their confidence, how can they get a hold of you?
So everything is on my website. It is confidentlyhis.com. And then I am always on Instagram. It is my favorite platform of choice. So on Instagram, it's Miss Chantelle, like MISS Chantelle. And yeah, find me there on my website. There's a ton of things that you can do. You can get help with confidence. You can get help with your faith-based business. You can get help with I do free virtual Bible studies one-on-one where we just jump into the Word and help you build your identity in God. So yeah, all the stuff is in there or on Instagram at the link in my bio.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your formula to choosing confidence. Hope you all learned something from today, and we'll see you next time.